Thanks for joining us, everyone, for the third installment of our Learn and Burn series. Based on comments and feedback from landowners and other professionals, we've determined that if we put together a toolbox, in this case a trailer, with all the tools you'll need for lighting the fire, fire suppression, and prepping your track for burning, we've put together a trailer that will have everything you need to conduct a burn safely and effectively.
The stand we're going to burn today is a 6-acre block of longleaf that was planted in 2007. It's in the CRP program. This field was previously in cultivation. I believe the last crop that was planted on it was peanuts in 2006. This stand has been frequently burned. It does not have a heavy fuel load, and it has well-established fire breaks. The main purpose of our burn today will be for hazard reduction and wildlife habitat.
Jim and I have already conducted our walk around on the burn unit, and we've established there's no snags or hazards that could potentially cause a fire to move outside the track that we're intending to burn. The snag would be a dead standing tree typically. If there's a dead standing snag near the edge of your burn unit and you don't want that snag to catch on fire and burn in half and fall over and then eventually catch something you don't want to burn on fire. We've also done our burn plan, and we've established our desired conditions and the forecasted conditions, and as we get ready to burn, we'll look at our actual conditions. Our parameters have been met for the most part today, with the exception of the wind, which is the wind's not exactly what we want. We could stand to have a little more wind today, but it's not a deal breaker. When you're looking at your conditions and you're doing your burn plan, sometimes one condition not being exactly right is okay. You have a range of parameters that you can usually burn in. So we're going to set a baseline on the south side and let that back in 10-15 feet, and then we're going to move ahead and start setting some strip head fires. And if the humidity drops lower today, we may back off and start setting spots so as the intensity is not so high with strip head fires, and then pull up our flanks and just keep an eye on everything as we burn throughout the day. Now that Jim and I have conducted our preliminary steps for the burn, we've done our walk around, we've got our burn plan, and our conditions are looking good, we're going to try to set some fire out this morning. As you're burning throughout the day, oftentimes it heats up, and as the temperature increases, generally the relative humidity decreases, and sometimes your winds may pick up and becomes a more volatile weather condition. And at that point, the fire may become very intense, and you'll see it throughout the day as it gets more intense as you're setting strip head fires. And as you notice the flames getting higher and more intense, it's a good idea to back off a little bit and maybe start setting spots instead of solid lines of fire. Those solid lines of fire can get too intense and cause scorch. So we may back off and set some spots and let those come together, and we're going to watch that over the day. And if it looks okay, we'll keep setting spots. If it doesn't, we'll back off even more and just let it back for a few hours. And as the weather conditions improve, becomes less volatile, we may go back to setting spots or even head fires to finish up the day.
Today we're on the Bradley farm in Randolph County. We're going to burn a stand of longleaf pine that was planted in 2002. It's a cutover stand that was previously in timber. It did not have chemical site prep before it was planted, so it has some hardwood mixed in it. There's approximately 8 acres in this stand. It was burned last year. The reason we're burning it again this year is because I've done some herbicide treatment in the stand and would like to keep the fuel load at an acceptable level. We wanted to burn it this year before all of the hardwood starts to fall that we killed last year. The stand that we previously burned was a planted crop field that was planted all the way to the road. And when we planted this stand, we left a buffer of hardwood around the perimeter of it for wildlife benefit. This stand is old field that had grown up in hardwood and pine. It was clear cut in 2001, and from the tree rings it appeared that it had been farmed until the 50s. Since then the stand has been managed with fire, but some hardwood has escaped, and last year I did a hack and squirt treatment on this stand. Hack and squirt is a herbicide treatment where you hack into the tree with a hatchet or machete and inject the herbicide directly into the tree. It's more effective on trees that have gotten more than 2 or 3 inches in diameter.